Hi there, and welcome to Yearly Reviews, a show where I go through all the games that I played through the year of 2020 1 week at a time. So without further ado, let's see what we're reviewing this week.
Spoilers!
This is probably going to be the first and only time I put a spoiler alert at the start of the video due to the constant choices that you make during this game. But anyway, when we think about the last decade in terms of games, one that seems to have boomed recently is the choice-based game. Now obviously this isn't a new thing, but it seems to have exploded during the last 10 years or so, and now you have several game studios working on only choice-based games, some such as Supermassive Games or Quantic Dream. And then there's the Big Daddy itself, the one and the only Telltale Games. Now Telltale is a very interesting company and their story is too much for me to condense in this video, but in terms of games, I say they've been pretty great. But if we're talking about Telltale, then there's one game series which I'm obligated to mention because it pretty much cemented Telltale's legacy and is responsible for the recent boom of choice-based games in my opinion, and that is The Walking Dead Season 1. In this game, we play as Lee Everett, a man who is recently charged with murder and is on his way to prison. But fortunately, or rather unfortunately, depending on the kind of person you are, the police car he travels in gets thrown off the road and he's attacked by several animalistic people running away, which the game calls walkers. Also, he sprains his ankle. He limps away to a nearby house and discovers Clementine, a little girl hiding away in her treehouse without her parent. For the time being, Lee decides to take care of Clementine and to look for help along with other survivors. But as Lee and Clem find new people to interact with and new places to go, Lee must make hard choices that impact everyone in the group, including the two of them. But just remember, death and betrayal is always around the corner, whether that be from walkers or the people around you. Now I am very late to the party when talking about this game, but is that going to stop me? No, because I am dedicated to making weekly reviews that nobody will watch. But anyway, the main question I ask myself when doing this review is, what can I say about this game which hasn't been said before? And the answer is, not a lot actually. So what is great about this game? Well, nearly everything. The characters are all memorable and you can empathise with all of them when needed. Each setting feels unique and become memorable with some great scenes. The art style is distinct enough for the player to remember. The music and atmosphere are great. I mean, what's not to love about it? But there's another thing I'm forgetting yet again. The one thing that everybody remembers about the Walking Dead games, aside from the name recognition and the overall atmosphere, and that are the choices you have to make. And I have to give my hats off to Telltale Games for creating a unique blend of making your choices matter and not matter at the same time. In this game, you're faced with several dilemmas which you have to try and solve, which all come back to you in the end and affect the story you play. One thing you did a couple episodes ago can have a disastrous impact in a new episode. Your choices can determine whether or not a member of the cast dies immediately or later on. And this is what separates The Walking Dead from others and allows it to create its own identity. Because there's so many different choices to make, there's always going to be a different story each time you play. Despite the fact that this game is 9 years old, it really holds up and is a great experience to play through today, as well as providing an entry point to not only the other Walking Dead games, but also other forms such as the comic series or the TV show. And I am certainly not in the minority here. People have loved this game to no end. In fact, I say pretty much the whole game series is great and beloved. Apart from A New Frontier, that was just okay. This game is also great for Telltale, not just in terms of sale figures, but allowing to create new games out of other IPs, most of which are pretty great as well, such as Batman the Enemy Within, Tales from the Borderlands, The Wolf Among Us, and the list goes on. But as Telltale has since closed its doors, we won't be seeing any more games for a long while, but at the very least, we can look fondly on arguably the best of them all. Also, fuck you Telltale for making me cry during the ending.
Hey folks, thanks for sticking to the end of this review. If you like what you saw here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys making comments on these videos. They make up my day and I read every single one of them. If you like what you saw here, feel free to look at the newest review and look at the latest review. And if you want to watch more, feel free to hit that bell so you know when a new review drops. See ya and thanks for watching.